you guys? Thanks so much for clicking on the video. My name is Leah, and we're going to recap and review Love and Marriage DC. This is season 1, episode 8. And y'all getting this good old voiceover action because your girl is traveling. But I wanted to stay consistent. But 2 things for sure about this episode that confirm Jamie need therapy and needs to stop touching people, especially his wife, as well as Monique is really not Winter's friend. Like, dang, girl. So y'all know if I find something salacious on the timeline and it goes with the episode and I want to talk about it, we talk about it before we get into the episode. So I hopped on Twitter and I hit that Love and Marriage DC hashtag, and baby, the girls are fighting. The girls are fighting. So this is what Ashley had to say. Child, the support group is not within me. This woman can say whatever she wants about our actual husbands, but oh no, don't bring up hers and the shit she told us about in the first 5 minutes of the season. Delusion or delusion. And then she hit the hashtag for the show. Then Ashley went on to say, hashtag Gutter Barbie shirts by me at Arena Tyler, and then the hashtag for the show. So if you want Gutter Barbie shirts, you can actually purchase them at Funtime Mom. myshopfee.com. That's where Ashley is selling the shirts. The shirts are nice. They kind of basic, but the dig was kind of basic. But I'm never going to hate on anybody trying to make profit off of an insult. I'm just not. Like, you taking something that was meant to be hurtful and making money off of it. Hey, do what you do. It's like that saying, you make lemonade out of lemons. Or is it, yeah, lemons out of lemonade. So whatever, or you make lemonade, or lemons out of lemon. I don't know. Either way, I don't have an issue with it. The next thing we're going to talk about is Monique doing backflips and somersaults, trying to absolve herself from being the pot stirrer and leaving her friend Winter to dry. So this is what Monique had to say. Talk to Monique like a friend that I've been doing. Ma'am, we've never talked about anything outside of business or NFL wife stuff. So this is new to me. This is my first time to your house ever. And then she also hit the hashtag for Love and Marriage DC. Then Monique started to like retweet some shady stuff about Winter. And I was just like, yeah, you really don't like this lady. So she quote tweeted someone saying this: you can't be a peacemaker and a shit starter at Monique Samuels. And they also hit the hashtag for the show. And Monique said, by quote tweeting this, she said, I beg to differ. You got to expose the shit in order to heal, in order to have real peace. And then she hit the hashtag. Then Monique retweeted from Own Unscripted. Kevin's presence is definitely a bomb drop. What do you think about this one? So it's kind of like you're kind of gloating or giddy at the fact that you invited your friend's ex-husbands that she's having issues with to the show or around the group. And that to me is messed up. But it continued with more. So Monique ended up retweeting someone else who said, Winter started this whole fiasco. Now she wants to be over it. Well, close your mouth, ma'am, and stop talking. So then Monique also quote tweeted Ashley, and Ashley said 14, 15, or 16 years. And this is what Monique had to say. I met her sometime after Chris and I started dating. So somewhere in there. That's how long we've known each other from the NFL days. We reconnected after a decade or so during the quarantine 2020 for podcast stuff. And then she hit the hashtag for the show. And then Monique said this: a defensive jab or a jab meant to attack is still a jab. Time to take accountability. Which I'm like, do you ever take accountability? Because your show don't do it for me. And then this was the last rounds of tweets where Monique says, no, Chris, we didn't know you invited Kevin. Then she says, where in the world this snow come from in March? And then she say, here comes the setup. And that's pertaining to what we're going to talk about in this episode. So like I said, y'all, Monique is not a friend to Miss Winter. And I find it funny how Monique is trying to absolve herself And we'll talk about it more in the episode, but she is doing backflips and cartwheels trying to prove that like her and Winter were never really friends like that, and it's really Winter's fault that all of this got kicked off, when it's like you added yourself in that too. And for her to even be like, take accountability, or it's time to take accountability, pot meat kettle. Pot meat kettle, because you never take accountability of the things you do. You really don't. You like be like, if I, instead of just saying, yeah, I did that. You always want to put an if in front of something. But the only thing I'll give Monique is that I saw a lot of people on the hashtag saying like, oh, they're using Winter. Monique used Winter, when it's like, she didn't really use Winter. Winter is a 40-year-old woman, and she can only be used unless she can only be used when she allows herself to be used. No one forced Winter to sign up to do this show. No one forced her to sign on the dotted line to allow her likeness to be used on this show or appear on the show. So Winter did this to herself. Now, did she probably go into this with rose-colored glasses thinking she had an ally in Monique? Yeah, but no one forced her. But we'll talk about it in the review, y'all. So let's get to it. Okay, y'all, so the episode opens up where it left off, where we have Arena and Winter having their sit down. Arena has just asked Winter, do you think you're mentally effed up by your two relationships? And Winter giving Arena the like stank deer cotton headlights face, like, no girl, like, what are you talking about? I'm good. She was like, I go to therapy, but you should also go to therapy. And then Winter pivoted the question back to Arena, was like, are you? And Raina's like, no, I'm good. We're good over here. And I was like, are you? Are you? Because I laughed when Winter said in her confessional, you the one who couldn't figure out what your husband was doing at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning at a red light. So who really messed up about their relationship? So then Winter continues by saying like, well, sis, you told us you experienced the same infidelity as us, or you went through the same infidelity as us. And Arena's like, no, my husband never got nobody pregnant. And that's when Winter was like, pause, what we're not about to do is go back to the past. If you don't want me mentioning your past, i.e. the red light special, then don't mention my past. And Arena was like, I'm not going back to the past. I'm trying to explain to you that it's not the same. Like, my husband never got anybody pregnant. And then Winter's like, Arena, like, don't do that. Don't do that. Because you said you always experienced infidelity. So then Arena's like, no, I said I never caught my husband effing OB. And Winter's like, what? So then Arena's like, listen to me. And she's like pointing her finger in Winter's face. She ended up standing up because I guess she felt like Winter wasn't listening. And then like Winter's like, Arena, sit down, because she was standing over Winter. And she was like, Arena, sit down. Like, sis, sit down. And Winter's like, until you can sit down and we can have a civilized conversation, I'm not going to continue having this conversation with you. So Arena sits down, and she's just like, girl, what is this? Like Winter legit was looking at Arena like, girl, what is this, honey? What is this? And Arena says, you don't know who you effing with. And then Winter says, not much. I said, ooh. Winter says she ain't never scared. She ain't never scared. And so Winter, I think, was going to continue the conversation, but I guess in her heart, in her mind or whatever, in her heart of hearts or whatever, was just kind of like, this ain't worth it. Because she was like, she said, Winter, Arena, I already told you. But then she was like, I think she was going to continue, but she stopped herself, and she was just like, I don't got time for this. So then Arena was like, you can get the F out. And Winter was like, I'm gladly, and she left. And I was just like, Arena really made herself look like an immature child. Like, her and Jamie don't have a lot of emotional intelligence because they both don't know how to articulate their words in the best way. They both get aggressive way too quickly and too fast, because there was no need for Arena to stand up over Winter. There was also no need for her to constantly point her finger in her face, because she did it more than 2 times, because I counted. As well as, I just felt like if Arena would have just came and sat there and like been the calm way she's been before, the conversation could have went farther. It could have definitely went farther, because I'm looking at Arena like, what are you really upset about? Are you mad that she called your husband red light special, or are you mad that you think she might really know there's rumors out there or know some tea about Jamie? Because either way, it was no need for her to like spaz out, especially not about the red light special nickname. Because I'm just kind of like, okay, and I mean, like, should Winter have made the comment? No, like, that was out of pocket. But I just think that Arena just did too much. She really did too much. Okay, y'all, so the next event is Jamie's CIAA event. I swear CIAA just should have stayed in North Carolina. It should have. Like, ain't nobody about to trek all the way up to Baltimore. I'm just not going to do it. Not for no CIAA. Although I have some good times. I've had really good times at CIAA. My sister actually went to college in Charlotte where CIAA was hosted. So I would oftentimes go visit her to go hang out and go to like expos and stuff. So CIAA is a fun time. But everybody's invited except Winter, of course. We got Chris and Monique showing up. Chris talking about and complaining about how hard it is being a stay-at-home dad and how he's tired, but he happy to be around adults because he's tired of being around the little people. We actually get to see Tasha, and things get like, you know, things pop off right away. So all the ladies are sitting at the table. Their husbands are behind them, except Tasha's husband. So I guess he couldn't attend. And they basically bring up Winter. Arena's telling Monique, like, girl, I had to sit down with Winter and it went left. And Monique's like, oh no, for real? And Arena's like, yes, girl. And, you know, I tried to confront her about what she said about our husbands, the nickname she gave us. And then the husbands are like, what? They were like, nicknames. What nicknames did she give us? So Ashley's like, oh, I didn't tell you, Quick. And she was like, she calls you DJ Fun Size. And Quick's like, huh? And in his confessional, Quick is like, I don't care what Winter says about me because I don't care about Winter. And then Arena tells Jamie, well, she calls you Red Light Special. And Jamie's like, what? Why would she call me that? And Arena's like, oh, because I told her something and that's what she said. And so Jamie gets annoyed because, you know, Jamie has already told Arena that he don't like that she tells their business. So you could already kind of tell like he was like in his feelings. Like he was in his feelings. So they keep continuing to having the conversation. And Tasha's like, well, if this isn't Arena's character, because Monica's like, you guys see now you guys, do you guys see how like I misread the conversation? Because, you know, she giving y'all nicknames, y'all doing this. Like, you see how you know, you see, like, she was really trying, like when I tell you Monique is doing, like, she's doing backflips and somersaults to, like, prove that, like, she didn't start this mess and she ain't bring it to the ladies and, like, she ain't, like, the beef and all this. It's stupid. I just feel like if Monique is gonna be hopping on the internet yelling, take accountability, then she can take accountability that she add to stirring the pot and starting crap for no reason. Like, she could say that, she can own that, but she's not going to, because she does, like, she wants to be clicked up with Arena and Ashley. So then Monique says something to the fact that, like, you know, I have to talk to her and I'm gonna have a sit down with her because this is not the Winter I know. The Winter I know has never been like this. So then Tasha chimes in and Tasha's like, well, if your friend has never been like this, then you should check up on her. But before that, Arena tells them that she told her that she asked Winter was she mentally effed up from her relationship. And Tasha was like, oh, that was rude. Like, you can't ask nobody that. And Arena's like, what do you mean? What do you mean? Like, Arena trying to act like that's not like a serious accusation or even rude to ask somebody that. So then that's when Tasha's like, well, if you think something's wrong with her or something's happening and you're not used to your friend acting this way, why don't you check up on your friend? And then Arena's like, yes, she need to be checked. And Tasha's like, no, I said check up on her, not check her, check up on her. And I was like, thank you, Tasha. So, like, I tweeted something out where I said, what I say? I said, Tasha worked my nerves, but I'm glad that she stuck up for Winter, like, because she was not there to defend herself. So Tasha was like, how I get on your nerves? And I haven't been on the show or said anything really. And I told her, well, it was because that one episode where I just felt like you were jumping into a conversation that you knew nothing about. And she basically said no, because I said I felt like you blindly were defending Winter in that conversation. So Tasha responded and said, nah, not blindly at all. I was there when everything went down, so I was giving my little 2 cents on what transpired. But LOL, I get it. So, and I told Tasha, well, I appreciate her being like on the show, because to me, Tasha is doing what Monique is claiming or pretending she's trying to do. Tasha really is trying to be the voice of reason and somewhat of a peacemaker, because she stood up for Winter when that should have been Monique's role, with Monique introducing Winter as her friend. Like, that's what Monique should have did, but she didn't. So then the conversation continues, and Arena was getting a little rowdy, just a little. And then Jamie was tired of the conversation. So Jamie tries to like grab Arena's face, like grab her face. And like everybody is like immediately like, ooh, ooh. Like, because he was trying to get the conversation to change, like turn the conversation somewhere else, or like direct the conversation to somewhere else. And like when he did it, I knew he messed up, because even I was like, you doing too much. But when Chris made a face of like, ooh man, and then like Ashley and them were sitting at the table looking at him like, bro, like you doing a lot. Like it got awkward. Like he made it awkward. And then Jamie responded to one of my tweets where I was just like, see, Arena is better than me, because the way I would have made a scene and embarrassed the F out of Jamie gonna respond in my comments talking about, no, you wouldn't have stopped it. Oh, no, you wouldn't have stopped it. We both can rumble. I said, okay, sir. Either way, Jamie and Arena lack emotional intelligence to me. Jamie trying to like direct her face by grabbing her face, that's annoying. That's more so like when people try to put their hand over someone's mouth while they're talking. That's a violation, and it's disrespectful. Like, I get it. You don't want to have this conversation. You want to usher it to something else, but there was no need for you to do that, in my opinion. Like, there was no need for that. So then Arena's like, boy, like, get away from me. Like, she was basically like, go somewhere else. And then they kind of just end the conversation there, and they all like start dancing. So then the next scene we have is Winter and Monique. So Monique goes to Winter's house, and they have a conversation. And Monique was like, I told the ladies about your DJ Fun Size comment. I don't like when people make comments about my husband. Shout out to Big Boy. And especially if we're not friends like that. So I just had to tell him. And like I said on Twitter, Monique is a good actress, because you fooled me, because since you was cackling and kikiing at the table with Winter when she told you that, but now all of a sudden you're offended by her calling Jamie a red light special and quit DJ Fun Size. I see you, Monique. I see you. You just trying to like save your own ass. And it's very telling. So then they start talking about the situation that transpired between Arena and Winter when they had to sit down. And Winter gets emotional. She talked about how Arena got up, started pointing in her face, got real like she was about to do something. She says, she brings up how she was like, well, and that's why my husband ain't never got nobody pregnant. And Monique's like, she didn't say that. And she's like, wow, that's not the Arena I know. Clearly, Monique, you don't know nobody, because you keep saying that's not the Arena I know, that's not the Ashley I know, that's not the Winter I know. You don't know these people then, sis. So then Winter gets emotional. She talks about how this is when before she got emotional, she called the ladies gutter Barbies, and in her confessional, and the what's her name, the producer was like, what are gutter Barbies? And she was like, they pretty on the outside, but they got low vibrations. I said, okay, girl. And so they start talking about her divorce and how she was like, bringing up the divorce with Kevin. She was like, it's too much. She was just like, I felt like you left me out to dry, Monique. Like, you really did. She was like, And then I guess Winter hasn't been doing a good job expressing the turmoil she's been going through with Kevin. She basically was like, y'all keep bringing, like, y'all talk about my Kevin situation like it's not currently happening. And Winter's just like, I'm still going through it. And then to Monique's credit, Monique was like, well, when we talk about it with you, you're smiling, you're making it seem like the situation is over and done with. And she's like, it's not though. She was like, I really thought when I spoke to you that we would be done in 6 months, but I'm still going through it. And she was just like, I need people to be there for me. I need a friendship. And then Winter says, actually in her new confessional, because I thought she looked really nice in her new confessional with the hair, the curly hair, where she was like, I'm realizing maybe I'm socializing too much, working on my businesses, my kids, trying to get my degree. It's all too much, as well as trying to get this divorce. And then Monique starts crying with her, which I'm like, for you to be like, y'all weren't friends. I don't think I would cry with somebody I wasn't friends with. But then again, you do have people who are like sympathy criers, and depending on the situation, I can be that. But I was just kind of surprised that she cried with her. She then said, I think that y'all can really resolve. Monique was like, I feel like y'all can resolve y'all situation if y'all have a sit down. And then Winter just basically says like, yo, I'm not going to share no more personal stuff with them. Like, I'm just tired. Now, I will say the ladies and them are kind of doing too much when it comes to Winter, but Winter does have to own accountability. Like Monique said, like, you jabbed at them and they jabbed you back. So you can't think that your jab in defense of yourself is no worse than their jab, because a jab is a jab. And that is true. So I'll give Monique credit for that. That is true. Like, no matter if it was like you're trying to be defensive or if you're trying to counteract someone's defense, either way, you're trying to hurt somebody because they hurt you. And that's just what it is. So Winter does have to take accountability for that. But we've seen since episode 1 that Ashley ain't seen it for Winter. She already thought Winter was boring. And she always had something slick to say, her and her little husband. And Arena tried, but I think Arena just got caught up once Monique said, oh, she said she knew rumors about y'all husbands, and that just turned Arena off. And then here is where we are now. So we then have a scene with Terry the Intuitive with Jamie and Arena. And basically what we find out is that Arena's still trying to be perfect. We also find out that it's kind of like Jamie ended up marrying his mother, and that's the reason why he acts the way he does. Like, Arena is ultra feminine, and that's what Jamie is lacking, and that's what he lacked after he turned 8. So what we find out is that between the ages of like him being a baby to 8 years old, he was with his mom, and then she was no longer there. I don't remember the reason why she wasn't no longer there, but then his father took over, and his father was very domineering, very controlling, and slick abusive. And it seems that Jamie ran towards Arena, like, because she is ultra feminine like his mother, but then he has an aversion to it because he was raised with a father who was so controlling and domineering and had toxic masculinity. So it's like when Arena does anything of the slightest that would be deemed feminine or soft, he gets angry. And that's true, because we've seen it multiple times, and he need to work on that. We then get this scene of Chris and Monique going to like sensual dancing or something like that. That's what it looked like. They had to really know, what was it called? Dance Dimensions, I guess, is the place that they were going to, but it was supposed to be like sensual love or whatever. And they start talking. Chris actually like stood up to Monique. Well, I don't want to say stood up to Monique. He confronted Monique and basically told her, I don't like that all the time when you going out with your friends. I hear that you're talking negatively about me. And that's not a good feeling. And Monique need to check that. She talking about, well, I'm not really speaking negatively. Like, you are. You are. Own that. Own that you are speaking negatively about her. About him, I mean. And it's disrespectful because you wouldn't want him to do it to you because you would have a hissy fit. So She talks about how she just wants Chris to be back to the old Chris, and then they have some like fake moment where he makes like a joke and they hug it out, and she says she gonna work on it, and she gave like a half-ass apology in the confessional. So the final scene of the episode is the, well, not the final scene, but the second to last scene of the episode is the guys meeting up with Kevin. We get to see Peter Thomas. I think Peter is so attractive. He annoying, but he's attractive old man. But we finally get to have more information about Kevin. Kevin presents this book that him and Winter were working on called The Power of Love, God's Way, Kevin and Winter, A Heavenly Love Story. And I guess Kevin was trying to say that ever since the book was finished, like they had published it like 8 or 9 months ago, that's when him and Winter were having issues. He brings this binder, but he doesn't have any facts in it. Like, honestly, this whole scene confirms to me that Kevin is a scammer and everybody on here is just stupid. And because they don't like Winter, they're just going to take what Kevin says to heart because he didn't produce any results. He was trying to like show them paperwork, but it's like if it's legal documentation, I would like a lawyer to read it to me because there are certain words in legal documentation that like we don't really understand unless you got a dictionary. As well as I was like, what is you showing the book for? Like, it was just stupid, but it somehow convinced all the guys that he was telling the truth and Winter was wrong. And I'm just like, no, it just really does give me both Simon, Gubadia, and Fallon, because y'all like people like Simon because he's attached to Portia. Y'all are going to side with Kevin because y'all don't like Winter as of right now. So I was just like, this is lame. And for Quick to be like, yeah, I can see that Winter's the problem. Nah, shut up, little man. As well as Jamie, like, I believe him. I believe him. Yeah, because you're stupid. Like, it gave Kevin gives very much of snake oil salesman. He really does. He really does. And they were so swayed by them not liking Winter. Not saying they don't have a reason not to like not to be justified in their feelings for not liking Winter, but you can't tell me from that conversation they had with Kevin that he was that convincing, because he really wasn't. So the final scene is the couples meeting up at Monique's and Chris's house. They're going to take a party bus to their lake house that's in the south of Maryland, the one that we saw on Real Housewives of Potomac, and they're going to have like a couples retreat. Monique lets them know that, hey, I'm not trying to set y'all up, but I'm inviting Winter. She is bringing the sex therapist with her. I didn't feel right not inviting her when she's the one that referred the sex therapist, but she's not sleeping the night. She's just bringing the girl, and then she's going to be off on her way. Ashley and Arena are annoyed and really don't like want her to be there, but she's coming anyway. Honestly, in this whole scene, it annoyed me. It really did. I'm not even gonna lie. It really annoyed me, and it really shows how fake Monique is, because you're doing all of this for people that you have just met versus someone that you told us that you've known for 16, 15, or 14 years. Now, if it's somebody I've known for that long, and even if we don't have a friendship, you would probably trump these people I just met that I don't have a relationship with. But Monique is a social climber, and she always wants to be a part of the in crowd. And because it's literally 2 against 1, she's gonna side with the majority, which is Arena and Ashley. And like I told y'all, Winter gets on my nerves. I find her to be annoying. Very much so annoying. I find her to be annoying and condescending. But one thing I'll give her is she's been by herself this whole entire season, and she's been going at the ladies without any backup, because like she told Monique, you left me. Like, you jumped ship. Monique jumped ships. Like, she jumps ships when she feels like it's convenient. And even with this whole popping up with Kevin's situation, because you can't tell me with her being online talking about, no, Chris, we didn't know. Yeah, you did know Kevin was coming. And I'm hoping that they gave Winter a heads up, because if you can give Ashley, Quick, Arena, and Jamie a heads up about Winter being there, then you damn sure can give Winter a heads up about Kevin coming there when she's expressed to you that her and Kevin aren't in a good place. And if you don't do that, then You prove everything right about what people have been saying about you, Monique, because you did the same thing with Giselle and Sherman, bringing Sherman's ex. And I don't even like Giselle, but I even thought you would cross the line with that one. So this whole, like, I'm not a part of the mess, what thing that Monique likes to do, she is a part of the mess. She's just not good. Like, she's not good at it. She's just not good at it. That's just what it is. She's not good at it. And then when she gets caught, she immediately apologizes and tries to, like, absolve herself of it. And then it's like, no, just stand in it. Like, you keep telling people to take accountability. You take accountability, ma'am. But yeah, y'all, that is it. That is all. Remember to be verbally authentic and drop down in the comments below. Deuces.